student, today we have to see about the pH scale of the solution. Why we using the pH? pH is used to determine the strength of the acid or base, whether the solution is neutral, acid, base or something. Okay, now we go to how you calculate the pH. From the scale also we calculating by using H plus ion concentration and OH minus ion concentration. You know very well, when the water molecule is dissolved, it self ionization, that is ionic product of water, we will see in the last session. Ionic product, it will be converted into H plus and OH minus ion. All the aqueous solution may contain hydrogen and hydroxyl ion due to self ionization of water. In addition of these ionization, substances dissolved in water also may produce hydrogen ion and or hydroxyl ions. The concentration of the ions decide the pH value. See here, the pH value measures of how acidic, basic, neutral is. The range goes from 0 to 14. The pH range is 0 to 14. With 7 being neutral, the pH of less than 7 indicate acid, whereas a pH is greater than 7 indicates base. The pH is really measure of a relative amount of a free hydrogen and hydroxyl ions in water. Okay, how will you calculate? In a pH scale, the range is 0 to 14. 0 to 6.9, it is a acidic. Exact 7, it is neutral. After 7.1 up to 14, it is base. Okay, the level of acidic of a substance is measured by a pH scale from 0 to 14. A substance measuring 7 is equal to neutral. A substance measuring less than 7 is equal to acidic. The substance measuring above 7 is alkaline. Okay, now we go to who identified this one. The scientist, bioscientist Sorensen identified in 1909 the pH scale. Set the number from 0 to 14, indicate whether the solution is acidic, basic or neutral. You know very well, less than 7 is acidic, greater than 7 is basic. A neutral solution has a pH value exact 7. How will you measure? By color of the solution. See here, each and every substance having color. 0 to 14 is a scale. There will be a pH pair. Nowadays we are using that machines before time in our lab also we having only the pH paper. The pH paper, whenever we dipped in the solution, it shows the color. From the color, the value will be given in the pH scale. From the color we have to identify it have the range of acidic, basic or neutral. You see, car batteries, some other batteries, you know very well, it contains acid. That acid solution strength is 0, it is acidic. 0 to 7 it is acidic, above 7 are alkaline, exact 7 is neutral. Only water, pure water, the exact value is 7. Okay, you see here tomato juice, the value is 4 given. So it is a acidic solution. You know very well, tomato contains oxalic acid. Lemon contains citric acid. The value is 2. See here, you know very well, that is drain cleaner, that is zinc cleaner, bleach, etc. The value is above 7. See here 13 and 14. Soap we are using. Cleaning soap is above 7. That is 12 they given. Suppose we use bathing soap, it will be less than 7 or it will be equal to 7. Then only it will be pure form. Pure, not only even a pure form, it is not affected the skin. Blood ranges, see here they given 7.35 to 7.45. They denoted as 8 as a approximate value. In our home we having baking soda. See here, the 9 value is given for baking soda. Baking soda, you know very well, that is a basic substance because the formula is Na2 NaHCO3 is baking soda formula. Whenever it dissolved in water, it gives Na plus H plus CO2 gas and O2 minus. This format only it will be dissolved. They give H plus ion, less amount of H plus ion, so OH minus ion will be increased, means it will be basic. So this solution contains basic substances. Okay, so the value is above 9 and above. Okay, next we go to see here pH chart. You know very well, this chart says it is acidic, it is alkaline, and 7 is neutral. This one you must know very well. In our lab we having the pH paper. That paper will source this one. Okay, next range will be given: sodium hydroxide, household bleach, ammonia solution, soap, detergent, milk of. I give some of the examples for pH scale. Okay, next in your book they given how it will be determined. All the aqueous solution already I say hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion, it will be determined by SPL Sorensen in 1909. Less than 7 is acidic, greater than 7 is basic, exact 7 is neutral. So the pH, what is pH? The pH is defined as, see here, the pH is defined as, the pH is the negative logarithmic of hydrogen ion concentration. That is you written as like this: pH is equal to minus log of H plus ion, H plus ion concentration. This square bracket says that the concentration. Okay, the pH stands for minus logarithmic of negative logarithmic of hydrogen ion concentration. So pH is equal to minus log of H plus ion. From this formula using, we have to identify the solution is acidic, basic or neutral. Next class we will see the sums also. See here, next sum of the substance and the value, will pH value also given here. You must read it. So why can we measure the pH of a given solution using the pH paper? For what purpose we are using? Because whether it is acidic, basic or neutral, then only we have to neutralize them. So that purpose in our body also we using the pH value. Whatever things affected us, the first they find out the pH value. So listen here, how they calculate the pH of a solution can be determined by using a universal indicator. It contains a mixture of dyes. It comes in the form of solution or a pH paper. Nowadays we are using solution in our skin, we are using pH solutions. In our lab we are using pH paper. A more common method of measuring pH in a lab is using pH paper. The pH paper contains a mixture of indicators. It shows a specific colors for a given solution. A color guide is provided with the bottle of an indicator or a strip of paper impregnated with it, which are called pH paper strip. Okay, the test solution is tested with a drop of universal indicator or a paper. The color will be changed. The color chart also given in the paper with the solution also. You have to coincide the color that is produces in our solution with the pH paper or a pH bottle pasted paper also. The approximated value is calculated. From that calculated value, the pH value, whether the solution is acidic, basic or neutral, we can identify. Okay, strength of the acid also we can identify by this paper, because 0 to 4 is a strong acid, 4 to 7 it is a weak acid. After 7 after the base will be started. 7 to 10 it is a weak base, 10 to 14 it is a strong base. So from the color production we have to find out the strength of the acid and the base also. Okay, now we go to pH in everyday life. See here, this chart also I given again: neutral, acid and alkaline. The color also given for each and every value. Okay, next, pH sensitive in plants and animals. Our body works within a pH range of 7 to 7.8. So our body is a neutral. Approximately it is neutral. Living organism can survive only in a narrow range of pH range. Suppose it will be down, what happen? Are the plants and animals pH sensitive? See here, our body works within the pH range of 7.0 to 7.8. Living organisms can survive only in a narrow range of pH change. Different bodies fluid have different pH values. For example, pH of a blood range is from 7.35 to 7.45. Any increasing or decreasing in this value leads to diseases. Suppose it will be decreases, it leads to anemic, that is anemia will be formed. So exactly they given the average value of blood. The ideal pH for the blood is 7.4. Okay, next we go to the digestive system. See here, you know very well, each and every part having the pH value. Saliva you see 6.5 to 7.5 the pH value. Upper stomach, that is stomach from the that having the pH range 4 to 6.5. Lower stomach having 1.5 to 4. Duodenum, each and every part having the pH range. So they given only for the fluid. In our book they given the fluid. See here, the pH in our digestive system, it is very interesting to note that our stomach produces hydrochloric acid, that you know very well. It helps in the digestion of food without harming the stomach. During the indigestion, the stomach produces too much of acid that causes a pain and irritation, that is known as you know very well, ulcer. The pH of a stomach fluid is approximately 2. Okay, next we go to pH changes of causes the tooth decay. You know very well tooth decay. Okay, the pH of a saliva normal range between 6.5 to 7.5. White enamel coating, you know very well, whenever you eating citrus fruit, that is acidic fruits, it will be get corroded. That white enamel is made up of calcium phosphate. That also the hardest substance in our body. You know very well, that is bone, skull, etc. etc. That are the hardest part. Not that is a hardest part. White enamel coating of our teeth is the hardest part in our body. It is made up of calcium phosphate. When the pH of the saliva falls below 5.5, the enamel get weathered, that is corroded. So we generally use the toothpaste. It is made up of basic. We does not use the acidic toothpaste using for a cleaning the teeth, that can neutralize the excess of acid and prevent tooth decay. Okay, next, you know very well soil. Soil you know very well, yes, that soil we using the test. In which soil which plant can be growth very well. For pH, why we are taking the pH test for the soil? Which soil contains acidic substance larger, which soil contains alkaline, which plant will be grown very well in that soil, we can identify by using the pH test of the soil. See here, in testing the soil, they dissolve the soil in water and dipped the pH paper or pH soil tester solution. They make a color. From that color, the soil contains water, alkaline, normal, neutral, slightly acidic, acid, or base, like that we have to identify there. Then we have to change the soil by using some of the fertilizers. Okay, next, pH of a soil. In an agriculture, the pH of a soil is very important. Citrus fruits require slightly alkaline soil. So lemon, orange, that are grown very well means the soil must be alkaline. While rice requires acidic solution, the rice will be give the yield very good manner means we using acidic soil. Sugar cane, you know very well that sugar cane requires neutral soil. The soil will be neutral means sugar cane will be grown very well. Okay, next we go to acid rain. The pH of a acid rain, you know very well, rainwater pH value exact 7, that is pure water. Suppose it contains, you know very well, the more factories are presented that produces many polluted particles to the atmosphere, that is sulfur, nitrogen, like that. The sulfur and nitrogen, it converted into their oxides and it addition with the rainwater to form a acidic substance. So the pH of the rainwater prevails to below 7. So it forms a acidic rain. Okay. When, see here, I given forms when SO2 and NO2 reacts with H2O vapor in air. Acidic measurement using the pH vapor numerically measure of a concentration of H plus ion concentration in a solution. pH is less than 7 is acidic, greater than 7 is alkaline or basic. Each numbers represented the tenfold changes. Harmful to the plants and animals. Damage the structure made of limestone and marble. You know very well damages, that is Agra, you having the Taj Mahal, it will be converted into black in color. The white color marbles is converted into black in color because of the acid rain. Okay. Next we go to in our lesson. The pH of a rainwater is approximately 7, which means that the neutral and also represented its high purity. If the atmospheric air is polluted with oxide gas of sulfur and nitrogen, they get dissolved in rainwater and make the pH value less than 7. Thus, if the pH of a rainwater is less than 7, then it is called an acidic rain. When acidic rains flows into the rivers, it lowers the pH value of the river water also. That also converted into acidic water. Okay. Why is the pure water has the pH value at 7 at a room temperature? Because the H plus ion and OH minus ions are equal. Already we see in the ionic product of water. So the pH value is exact 7 for a pure water. So you go to the aquatic life, you know very well, that is fish, etc., that will be living in the river water. That survive of a river water is difficult in acidic water because it causes death. So in normal water only it can be live more easily. Okay students, we will completed the lesson. Tomorrow we will see the sums.